Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Event Advice. I'm Will Custard. I'm with Matt Allen. Usual setup, usual team. Today, Matt, we are going to be talking about event badge design. We're going to focus in on the design elements of a badge and how little differences can have a big impact. So let's start with our first talking point here. Badges are prompts for conversations. Discuss.
Yeah, you look at a badge, you look at the name of someone, it triggers that. Have I met them before? Sometimes if you're connecting the face, sometimes you recognize them and you're like, oh my word, I know them. Who is it? And it's awkward, particularly if
Give
you're
me your
forgetful.
tips. I need to have this discussion. Give me your tips on looking at someone's name without them realizing you're trying to find out what their name
The
is.
key is to never look at their badge when you greet them.
Okay.
And to use a greeting, like most of the time I know who the people are.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
if I do, there's sometimes, and it's not because it's because I'm forgetful. I sometimes can have met someone lots of times, had amazing conversations, and then just for temporarily
You
it
can't
takes me a
quite
moment.
place them. Yeah,
And you're seeing lots of people, and sometimes out of context, and so it's tricky. Even if you've seen someone on a Teams calls or Zoom calls for 6 months, you see them in person, it takes a moment.
Yeah, definitely.
So I will always greet with something that's fairly neutral and doesn't convey whether I know them well or not. So you don't go too overboard.
In case
Great
you're wrong.
to see you. Oh my God, it's been some time. Hasn't it been some time?
We've never met.
Yeah. I know we've only seen each other on Teams calls. Well, we did see each other 2 weeks ago in London at Hilton.
It's so difficult.
So keep it fairly generic initially, and then when you get an opportunity, stare at their chest.
just eyes down.
Yeah.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because
stare at their chest. When I say stare at their chest,
you just said stare at their chest, but women do not want people looking down at their chest.
No. Look, badges are a necessary evil a lot of the time. So we're here focusing on how they are leveraged and the importance of them.
Yeah.
But
not the fun.
There will be better solutions moving forward. I don't
know if I agree with that.
Well,
because the reason
just like a hologram that's above you, that just says you walk around with like a hue.
Well, I guess if everyone's wearing
Arnold Rimmer,
if everyone was wearing smart glasses, maybe that is a better thing to use smart glasses for. I think
I can't think of anything other than Arnold Rimmer at the minute. Do
you
remember the Arnold Rimmer? I was far more useful than a strimmer.
Strimmer, yeah. I remember that. Red Dwarf. Look at Red Dwarf if you haven't seen it.
If you missed Red Dwarf the first time round, it's one of those things because I don't know if it might not. You know how things have a time.
Yeah, we don't know if it's how well it's aged.
Yeah, so I can't remember, but I remember really enjoying it at the time.
Yeah, because
it was good fun.
I stuck on Hot Tub Time Machine, the film, the other day.
Yeah.
And that has aged really badly.
So I think it might have been my son wanted to watch it. My wife and son started watching it, and we're both literally lasted 5 minutes.
That's the same as me. I turned it on. Awful. This is problematic and offensive.
I thought it was awful the first time round.
Yeah, do you know what? I don't think I really watched it the first time around, but I was told it's a good film. Like I was told that probably 15, 20 years ago.
It's not.
And it is not.
No,
it's
so Red Dwarf might be the same.
A real problem.
But I always think give it a try.
Proceed with caution.
Yeah.
I think it's very well. Check it out.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
What were we talking about? Oh yeah, so badges. I think there are alternatives to wearing a badge around your neck that exists at the moment, and people have had a really good stab at it. But everyone always comes back to the fact that you're wearing something. The best thing is to wear something around your neck.
For the reason of recognition and association. So I recognize that person, reference who it is. I can see someone walk past and see what organization they're from and in what role. What we do when we're at an exhibition or a trade show is we're looking to make sure that we connect with the right people. So you go through a process beforehand in an app or at registration where you're choosing organizations you want to meet with, you're trying to reach out to people to influence whether they come in and meet with you. So when they walk up, if you've messaged them online, you want to reference that they are who they say they are. And you're not always going to be able to do that from visual identification. It needs to be from that validation from the badge, which is why it's so critical. But badges do much, much more than that, which I'm sure we're going to come on to.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really dug into. Obviously, you're going to get name, you're going to get role, you're going to get company. These are good social shortcuts. These are good. You'll take a photo of the badge. You might use a lead capture tool. You might use all sorts of things, and actually, you can take that away, and it's just a really good. I mean, it's why you were so insistent. Not you weren't insistent. You suggested it, and it was a good suggestion, so we put it into the product. The picture element of lead capture.
Yeah.
That you suggested would be a good addition.
But also security for a badge.
Yeah.
If the face of the person is on their badge, you can validate that they are who they say they are. In the time I've been doing this, on 2 occasions at 2 events, people have tried to get into the event and have been stopped because of that feature.
Really?
Yeah. Someone had placed a badge in a public bin rather than the collection bins on exit, and someone had picked it out of a bin and tried getting into the event, but it was an event where the face was on it and the face didn't match, and the organisers didn't.
Oh, so important. Yeah, important security step. Because at most events they would have been able to just get in, wouldn't they?
Yeah, and that's why when people leave, if it's a high security event, and but also when you check them back in, there's different ways of doing it. Are you leaving? Yes, scan out. So if they come back in, it's, could you just validate who you are, please? So there's security mechanisms in place for high security events.
Our attendance tracking was going to bring up the person's profile photo.
Perhaps it should.
Perhaps it should. Perhaps it should.
When I say perhaps, I mean
it should. It should.
It should.
It should certainly be an option.
But the badge is much more.
I think
than
it
just a
does
photo.
actually. That's bad of me that I don't. Either it's got lost in the design we wanted to do it, and it's in my head or it actually exists in the product.
I saw designs where it was, but
Let's move on.
We always talk about personalisation at registration and listening to registration, it being echoed in other areas of the platform. That is very important in on-site badging. So you could say in registration that you want to participate in certain groups or you're part of a certain group. And we want to visually identify that through attributes in our badging. So that's important from a logistics perspective for an organizer. You can look at a badge and say, oh, he's in these groups. You can look at a badge and it could be relating to dietary requirements or status, as in, I don't mean VIP, but I mean more nuanced than that. So that's important, but it's really important for networking as well. So if I say in registration that I'm passionate about, I'm just going to say random things, red wine.
It's not random. You are passionate about red wine.
I like red wine. I'm January detox.
Golf. So we can actually, you don't need to be random about it. You could actually, but if your actual interests were on there that were outside of the event, so that's useful for me.
Yeah. So, and it's on your badge. There's a picture of someone playing golf. There's a picture of a glass of red wine. There's, 3 or 4 things that I'm interested in. That's really useful from a networking perspective. And we've used it and badging at our events. Lots of people use it. So I can see that you drink red wine. Should we go and grab a glass and chat about business?
Yeah, exactly.
I can see that you're interested in golf. Why don't we go to Top Tracer, which I have done with clients after meeting them at a networking event, leveraging our technology. We went to Top Tracer. Was it Top Tracer? Yeah.
Top Golf.
Top Golf.
I mean, it could have been either, couldn't it?
It was in the US, and it was one of the big ones.
Yeah. I mean, it clearly worked. So this actually, it moves us on to clarity beats creativity is the next one. So you don't have a huge amount of real estate on a badge.
Yeah.
And lots of people like the smaller badges anyway. But even if you were talking about, some of our butterfly stock or, what, you shouldn't overdo it on a badge, should you?
No, you shouldn't overdo it, but it's nice to do it.
Yeah.
I think you can have clarity and creativity. That's the whole point of creativity, is that creativity is about using space effectively. It's about making sure you leverage a tool to the maximum. That's the whole point of creativity. It isn't about it being funny, lovely pictures.
Yeah.
Creativity is about maximizing space. And and user experience. So I think you can be both creative and focused on function.
Yeah, knowing the confines that I have to work within sometimes makes me more creative.
Yeah.
Because I know I have to be cleverer, but also try and get it right. So one of the things that is a technique in web design is to blur the screen. So if you looked at a badge and squinted, so you couldn't really see it, but you can see it blurry. But you can pick out the most pertinent things on that badge still with a blurred design.
Red wine.
Yeah, exactly. Then you know you've got it right, because at a quick glance with your eyes fully open,
Exactly.
in good light, you're going to be able to catch the information.
Your templates that you've created in our badge printing, you land on it, you've got like, I think it's 12 different options of templates.
There's a few in there.
They have all got that design principle at heart. So your starting point is always considering that those design components and is in place. And then you've got the flexibility to be creative around those design templates.
Badges reflect event values. Do you think it's an extension of the event? I mean, it's definitely an extension of there's lots of branding opportunities with badges, lots of sponsorship opportunities, but does it reflect the values of the brand, a badge, do you think, or should it?
It's the same as anything. You do it well, and it echoes how much care you pay to your event, doesn't it? You spend time on your website, you spend time on your comms, you just spend time focusing on the quality of your content. You are collaborative with your speakers, so you maximize the time you have with them. You involve and engage with your audience. You've got to do it all, and the badge is a part of that. What you don't want to do is do it all right and then end up with a rubbish badge. There's no point, because it's so easy to get it right.
Yeah. As with lots of design choices, it's quite easy to get it wrong as well, isn't it? Like, you can make, just making something way too busy and no one can actually see the content on it.
Yeah, you're balancing, particularly badging, and ours are on-demand badging that we're talking about here specifically. So it's a naked badge that we're printing unique per user. You do have to be mindful of how much ink and the color palette, the type of colors you're using, to make sure that you have a quick print, but also that it's not wet.
Yeah.
And so what you can't have disasters where ink is running on clothes of people when it lands on their body. So
what about things like, if the values of the organization are things like sustainability or accessibility or inclusivity, so making sure you've got pronouns on the badge, so you're talking to someone in the right pronoun.
It's a given. Most companies are focused on their carbon footprint from both their event and from their general business. Most businesses, and all businesses that, I should use the word all, but I'm still going to use the word most, and that's kind of reflective of the fact that there's still progress needed.
Yeah.
Most businesses will be focused on accessibility and inclusivity, and the badge has to provide the opportunities. It's one of the things that we focus on.
Do you think, let's talk about digital badges for a second, but then how they relate to physical badges as well. So we obviously offer both. They both have they have an individual design element to them each, but do you think they should always
mirror
each other, echo what's going on?
Not always. That's like saying I shop in a supermarket by walking through aisles, and therefore digitally I want to walk through an aisles in a 3D environment.
Yeah.
It doesn't work, does it?
Yeah.
I want to see lists and categories so that I can be most efficient with my shopping choices. So I always like to think that digital should be mindful of a physical approach, but it follows different design and behavior principles.
Yeah. I mean, really, we do this all the time, don't we? We boil the digital aspect of it down to its actual constituent part that you need.
Yeah.
So really, a digital badge, you don't need it for those branded elements necessarily. You don't need it for the person recognition. You don't need it as little helpful hints of what to talk about. I guess a digital badge could do that, but really you want networking tools to do that.
Card. You need it.
But the QR code absolutely has to be front and center and nice and easy to get to, and then
Yeah.
The scanning tools can get it and things like that. Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah. Okay. When badges work, when they're really effective,
So when they work well,
do you think people linger longer? Those are the words that are on this card. Like, I just like the phrase linger longer.
they should be lingering less. It should require less lingering.
Well, this is we've touched on this before. A quick conversation is not necessarily a bad conversation.
No.
The metric of how long did I talk to that person is not the same as how valuable was that conversation.
Dwell time does not mean value.
No.
Some of the best conversations I've had are with really focused people who know exactly what they want, and they look at it and say, within 30 seconds, this has got legs, but we'll need a follow-up call and we'll bring in a wider team.
Yeah.
And you're efficient. Quality badging. So let's start with it. Quality badging is getting your badge quickly without queues.
Yes.
So yes, we could do much more than that, but I ask people to focus on that. What's your problem? What's the main problem? We've got queues and we can't have that. There's not a big enough waiting space and we don't want people queuing outside. Okay, we can resolve that. These are the other things. We can also drive sponsor revenue through the machines and through the badge. We can also facilitate better networking. They're all almost pluses, aren't they? The first feature is that you get someone a badge so they can be identified as being in that event and having registered or be committed to being there.
Yeah.
And then tracking their movement. Tracking the movement's secondary.
Yeah.
All the other benefits are secondary.
Yeah. Get them in, find out who they are, get them through the door.
Yeah. Quickly, easy. And the joy with our machines, I don't want to try and overplay it because sometimes I talk about, because I've seen it. I've seen people liking the process. I see people go, wow, this is cool. I see people excited to go up to the machine because they look great. I've seen those things. I like mentioning those things because obviously that's the thing that we get excited about. But the basic, the fundamental is get badge quick. Get badge quick, get into event, see content, meet people.
It is a good way, if you take out sort of a exhibitor delegate conversation and you just focus in on the delegate networking element of what a badge can help do. Do you think it plays a part in quality conversations, like proper relationships being formed?
Yeah, I mean, you see people in internal events. Now you've got 1,000 employees in an organization. They don't know everyone in different organizations. So being able to see the region they're from, being able to see the department they're in, enables them to make sure that they do meet with the right people that are going to enable them to collaborate.
And you talked about
cost department's important, but you can drive initiatives through your comms or through your app to drive people meeting the right people, using the badge.
Well, and you talked about the attributes that you can put on a badge and things like that. You can also, if you are just walking past, like literally just walking past someone or someone's 20 meters away from you, if you can have a totally different color, a totally different design for each of the person,
you don't need to go more than that.
Then out of the corner of your eye, you are recognizing the people that actually, that's someone I want to go and talk to. That's someone
projects, like some of the projects we've done before, where it's a completely unique badge by profile, not just at the bottom, but a completely unique badge, a completely unique persona.
Yeah.
And there's that kind of, oh, I can see that you're one of us.
Becomes like a t-shirt party at that point.
Yeah.
Where you're actually spotting people in the room from a long way away.
I did say that I wanted us not to wear a badge at the next exhibition event, but to wear a t-shirt with the badge and our details on it.
I remember it. And actually we've done a few different things in terms of, like, we've had a big QR code on our back. You want the badge on a t-shirt, which I've designed and I think probably we'll use.
We'll use it at some point.
It's a bit
faddy.
Yeah, but it's a nice idea. And actually probably what we should do is, what I designed is, it literally looks like you're wearing a badge. What we should probably do is what I just mentioned and boil it down to, what do we need? What do we actually need on that t-shirt?
Red wine.
A big red wine
Big
stain.
red wine stain.
Did you see that marketing campaign? Actually, it was a few months ago now, but they sent out. I think it was a wine company, but they sent out their mail looked like you'd spilt a glass of wine on the envelope and the letter.
That's nice.
So when it came through the door, it looked like it was totally covered in red wine, or sort of half covered in red wine. It's a good activation. Okay, wonderful. I think
Not good enough for you to remember what wine it was.
No, absolutely not. No.
So a reasonable campaign.
Yeah, but I'm not. I don't
You're
like
not
red
the
wine.
target. Oh yeah, yeah.
So I wouldn't have looked any
I would've.
closer than that's a clever design feature.
Whereas I would have looked at the wine.
You would have gone, I wonder what wine company that is.
Mm.
Good. Would have piqued your interest.
It would have.
Lovely. Okay, thank you very much for joining us. We'll talk more about event badging, and I'm sure in the future, and there's probably lots of videos that we've done in the past that covers it. But this one, all about event design and how really you can get the best out of your badges. Like, subscribe, comment below if you have watched Red Dwarf, if you've caught up on it, if it is problematic and we need to probably cut that bit out of the video just to cover our own
Just
backs.
tell us.
You could just let
Or
us
if
know
we've
that.
cut it out already,
Like,
just cut out this whole section.
yeah. Yeah.
I don't think they
Actually,
cut
can't
out
do-
anything. I think they just go out.
Oh, it's warts and all. It's absolutely, particularly the YouTube one. I mean, you'll probably come to it from a clip. But okay, wonderful. Thank you very much for joining us. We will see you again next time.